and a very good morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing very well today and you're ready to start your day with the very casual yet charming Shazad Khan and me, Maha Mukhtoom. I hope you guys are doing very well. Shazad, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm absolutely great, and thank you very much, Maha, for such wonderful introduction. I think this is for the very first time that I got these two.
In the last couple of weeks, yes.
But it's perfect and it feels great as well. But other than that, I'm glad that I was able to make it to the show because of the fact that I couldn't wake up today. So yeah, finally I'm here, guys. I'm not going to miss out on you.
At one point I was like, oh, maybe Shazad isn't going to be coming to the show. But no, there was a lot of traffic today as well. And I think a lot of people were in a rush as well. So I had assumed you got stuck in the traffic, not that your alarm clock didn't go off. But anyway, I'm glad you made it. And you dressed very differently today.
Exactly. And there's a reason behind it. And that's something which I'm going to let you know after the top stories.
Absolutely.
Shall we do that?
Let's do that.
All right, go ahead. Take a look at the top stories, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Institute of Science and Technology organized 5th Media Festival 2018 to promote creativity among students aiming to join media industry at Islamabad. Congratulations, Zabist.
And the Duchess of Cambridge, the wife of Britain's Prince William, has given birth to a son. And this is the second son of the royal family, third child of the couple, the Duchess and Duke of Cambridge.
And the 17th Tbilisi Fashion Week concluded in the Georgian capital after 4 days and 20 events starring homegrown and local design talents. Oh, what's homegrown talent?
People that stay in from the...
Who are from Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know the fashion world is full of, people from all over the world.
So we've got baggy sleeves now.
Okay, so Pakistan has reached the final of the South Asian Judo Championship being played in Nepalese capital of Kathmandu. The final event will be played between Pakistan and India. Ooh.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, that's always fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were the top stories and time now.
That was very quick, the top stories.
Yeah, that was because we only had 4 top stories today. But other than that, so you asked me a question, and the question was, why am I wearing this jacket?
Why are you dressed like you're on the street?
Yeah, okay. So the reason behind it is that, since I was a kid, my father was always inclined towards being a pilot. And he couldn't do it because he became a banker. But every now and then, whenever we would see a plane flying, he'll just stop the car, look at the plane, and just wish to himself that, maybe, I could do that, or my son would do that. So I always wanted to be a part of an Air Force. I wanted to be a GDB pilot, but I couldn't do it. So I just feel like it when I wear such jackets. So this is what it is.
Okay, so you it's that reliving of a fantasy dream that you had as well.
Yeah, and it's not that I didn't try. I even tried getting into Air Force, but I was too, bright for them. So that's why they didn't pick me up.
Okay, fair enough. But, now you're here, so, there's always a silver lining in every cloud. But for me, actually, you've just triggered mine because I was thinking about this. I actually also wanted to be an RAF pilot.
Really?
Yeah, Royal Air Force. But then, obviously, the whole 9/11 thing happened, and I didn't want to kill people and bomb and go into wars. Yeah. So I wanted to drop food, not bombs. So that was my dream. But now I'm here doing this, so, it kind of balances it out.
Exactly. That's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about dreams and how to be very practical too as well. And talking about Pakistan, the country we live in. We only live in Pakistan because of the fact that somebody dreamt of a country which was sovereign too as well. So this is the power of dreams. But in life, all we need to do is that we need to be very realistic. We need to set short-term goals and long-term goals, and then there's peer pressure, and then all of these things.
Exactly. Thank you for taking everything that I was going to say.
No, I've left 2 or 3 behind.
Yeah, thank you. No, and it's also about the practical approach, like Shazad's saying, and also how to now start changing these norms and this conditioning that we have, and this fear element that keeps making us prescribe to the traditional roles. And, a lot of the times, it's not about blame game. We're not blaming the parents, because my mother always says, it's like, oh, it's all our fault. But no, it's not that. It's about, that was a different time. It was a different era. Now we're in 2018. It's the 21st century. We need to start evolving. However, the patterns that we've been watching especially is that we're still following in the same patterns. And that's going to make change very slow.
No, but and there's one more thing. So obviously my father dreamt of me being a pilot, but other than that, what I always wanted to do was to be on television. And I'm going to take you guys back when I was 6 or 7 years old. And in Pakistan, the culture was of such sort where you are not allowed to watch films.
Okay.
So we went to Karachi. My khala used to live over there, and so my parents and my khala and khalu used to sit in their drawing room, lock the drawing room up, and watch a film. And I used to watch it from the keyhole.
Oh, wow.
So the first film I watched was, I think, of Sanjay Dutt, and I've been a great fan of Sanjay Dutt too as well. And I always wanted to work. Since that time, I've always wanted to work for television, and this is what I'm doing for the last 10 years now.
That's wonderful. Excellent. And I won't go into my dreams because there's a lot of them. And, this is part of it as well, promoting the balancing conversation narrative of Pakistan as well. So, in some way, you have your whole life to achieve your dreams. And, it's never too late.
And it is very important to dream big too, ladies and gentlemen, while being very realistic. And this is why we are going to share a video where we are going to tell you how to dream big. Well, we are trying.
Okay, so that was a video on dreaming big and all the different things that people have dreamt and then they've created, and it's actually made other people's lives better. But we're going to be talking about it from a more personal point of view as well. How do we achieve them? How do we pass it on to our generation, especially if we have kids? So besides me, we've been joined by Zile Huma Sayed. She is a marketing and a business expert. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
And moving on, alongside Zile, we have been joined by Anam Fatma, who's a researcher herself. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thank you for being here. Besides Anam Fatma, we've been joined by Harun Nasir. He is also a business expert and an entrepreneur. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Thank you.
All right, last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Taira Malik, and she's a psychotherapist. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm good. I like the way you're talking.
Thank you very much. Thank
His
you very
energy
much.
is really good.
Full
It's
of
off the
energy,
charts
yes.
sometimes.
So let's get started. So Zille,
Yes.
have you ever dreamt of anything, and have you achieved that?
Yes.
Go
I
ahead.
dreamed of coming back to Pakistan after spending 20 years in Dubai, and here I am in front of you. I wanted to serve in my country, and yes,
Excellent.
that's how it goes.
Okay,
Cool.
so so where are we going to start? It's a very heavy conversation to start, but you went away
Yes.
for work. Was that part of your dreams as well?
Yes, that was part of my
Okay,
dream. Yes. I
wonderful.
wanted to work abroad, and yes, I achieved that, and then I came back.
Okay, wonderful.
So is it more likely that you only have one dream and then you achieve it and you come back, or you keep on dreaming?
I keep on dreaming. No, it never finishes. One should always
Amazing.
dream.
So let's move on to Anam then. Anam,
Yeah.
you always wanted to be a researcher, or
No, I wanted to be a doctor,
Okay.
what happened then?
but I couldn't achieve it was like I got into BDS, but I wanted to do MBBS. So then I changed my thought. I want to do something different because all my girls in my family are doing business management or medical.
Okay.
So I went to the social sciences, and I'm here today.
Excellent. And we're gonna get into the depth of everyone's stories in a bit. You know how important it was as childhood, what they set out. But before that, Haroon, what about you? What you dreamt of as a child, have you reached that goal now as an adult?
As a child, you know, I was born in a business family, and I used to, you know, go along with my father, visit all the areas, and we're into infrastructure development. So currently I'm working in a local hospital, which is a 200-bed facility. I used to go in this building when I was a 5-year-old, and I used to imagine, you know, I'll be part of it someday. It was supposed to be a shopping mall, actually, and then, you know, over the earthquake, this was turned into a relief camp.
Amazing.
And that is what made us think of converting it into a hospital. And I've always wanted to be part of my business, and today I've actually achieved. I've started working, and my dream about expanding our hospital industry and hospital horizons in Pakistan is really, I've broken it down and, you know, achieving it one by one.
Very nice.
Excellent.
But there's one more thing, and that is that since you yourself are not a doctor, so was it very easy or was it difficult for you to set up a hospital?
It was, you know, my father established it. I was abroad when he established it. You know, we had our discussion, and once I came back, it was a difficult decision because we're into the real estate development and the hospital. I had to pick, and I picked this because, trust me, it's a very difficult field in which you have to face a lot of difficulties day in, day out. But that is what life is all about.
Absolutely.
That's
Choices.
Yes, choices. And I wanted to give back to the society.
Right.
Okay,
So-
excellent. So, Tyra, tell us, are you living out your dreams that you had set out for yourself as a youngster, or what are you doing?
I had 3 dreams actually.
Okay, tell
Now
us.
that I wanted to be in a helping profession. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to teach, and I wanted to be on TV.
These are 4. It's 4.
No, teach and so helping profession is the doctor.
Good.
So I became a therapist, psychotherapist.
Okay,
So
so
not a
that's
doctor, but a helping profession.
Excellent.
I am also a teacher. I teach in different universities as a visiting faculty member, and I'm on TV today.
Wonderful. That's excellent. So everyone here has realized their dreams. Some have changed their course on the path as well, but it's fine. That's what it's all about. And we're going to break it down now. So let's move on to Zile. Like, you said that you wanted to go abroad, you wanted to come back. How and when did you realize that? When did you start setting your dreams for yourself?
When I was in school, yes, I always wanted to be a working woman and a professional, working abroad, and yes, I fulfilled that right after my graduation. I flew to United Arab Emirates.
No,
I
but
worked
okay, so
there.
wait, we're rushing. So let's break it down. So when you were younger, you knew you wanted to work abroad.
Yes.
Why? Like,
school
what, as a
days.
kid, why did you want to work
But
abroad? What was the temptation?
something kept me motivated. Like everyone in my family, they got married in a very young age, but I wanted to be a working woman because I saw my mother. She was, you know, kind of entrepreneur and very educated lady. So that made me, you know, motivated and worked abroad. And alhamdulillah, I did very well over there. And then I'm back again.
That is great. But you know, at times, whenever we have people on television and we are interviewing them, they make it look so simple, as if, you know, they just want to do it and it happened. But this is not how it is.
No.
There's a
I'm
big
still
Life is a
struggling,
journey
guys.
of struggle.
Yeah,
and pain and hard work.
Yes.
So we want you
And
guys to share
tears.
it with all of those people who are out there.
A lot of hardships when I left Pakistan and went abroad. You know, the educational system and other hardships, like girls coming from different countries. They were much trained in Pakistan. There's no such kind of training those days, like a professional background or, you know, an office work or office atmosphere. So that was, yes, initially it was very hard and difficult for me to cope with that thing. But yes, if you have a will, there is a way. So yes, I worked hard. I learned things on my own. I went to special courses. And then I continued my studies in Dubai with Middlesex University. And yes, today here I am.
that's
So,
a-
you know, there are a lot of hardships. There were a lot of rocky paths. So
Okay,
yes.
and that's what we want to highlight, because we need to show, you know, because nowadays, especially with social media, everything seems so glamorized and easily attainable, and that's not how it is. So let's move on to Anam Fatima, because you had one dream, but you had to change it because of certain circumstances. So tell us, how did you overcome that, especially because you really wanted to become a doctor?
I wanted to become a doctor because my parents wanted me to be
Okay,
a
so
doctor.
that wasn't your
Yeah.
dream
No,
then? No, we asked you what your dream was.
no, I merged my dream in my parents' dream.
Okay,
Like every
excellent.
Eastern girl do.
Okay, so
Well,
tell
you
us
didn't merge, you were forced to actually fulfill their
Kind
dream.
of, but it's,
yeah.
it's
Okay, so tell us about it.
So
So,
I just want to tell you that there is no age to dream. I started dreaming very lately.
okay.
When you are forced to a like some kind of profession you don't want to join, it's like it's your dream. So when I was failed to achieve MBBS, so I want to do something different. That's how I started dreaming.
Okay.
So I have already told you that there are the girls in my family from business management background, from medical background, from engineering background.
Yeah.
So I tried to go for something different. I opted for social sciences. Although I had very obstacles in my way
So
to
tell us
coming
about
here.
these obstacles, though. Like once you, because it was your parents' dream, which you merged into your own dream to become a
Exactly.
doctor.
Right.
That didn't happen. So what were the repercussions of that? Were there
And how
any?
did you feel about it? I think that's something which Tahira might be able to answer.
Yeah.
No, I was feeling very low, and definitely, but my parents were very supporting in this way. This is why I'm here today.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I came from South Punjab.
Okay.
It's like, it's difficult for a girl to come in this kind of city. There are cultural shocks, there are cultural differences, and much more. So, I have been through all this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is what I want to ask. So, Tahira, what happens when, you know, you wanted to achieve something and you couldn't get it because there's a better or another thing which is far more better than the previous one, and Allah has actually picked up on that too as well. But how do we get over that, okay? For example, if we weren't able to achieve a dream, now how do we let go and then think of another thing?
See, initially, as she mentioned, I didn't even feel it, that, okay, I couldn't become a doctor. I was so busy in achieving my parents' other dreams, you know, topping every degree, you know, topping every field. So, but lately, like, I joined psychotherapy a few years ago. So it was a kind of a late dream. I think the key is to keep on dreaming. As you already mentioned, there's no age to dreaming. So in my case, coming to becoming a psychotherapist came only a few years ago, after I had completed all my education. And I was happy and content with being a visiting faculty member, and that's it.
Okay.
But then I saw this ad in a newspaper like that one morning of the psychotherapy training, and then the dream came back to me.
Thank God I've never ever dreamt of reading books again.
That is not something to promote.
No, not the
Okay.
course books, in
Okay,
fact.
okay, yes, we went studying books. So on that note, we're going to go take a short break. And when you come back, we're going to continue our conversation about what are dreams and how we're going to actually attain them in the 21st century. So
Exactly, and all I want to ask after the break is, ladies and gentlemen, that how many times do you dream by looking at somebody else's achievement? And does it really work, or it does not, or are you in somebody else's shoes? So go ahead, take a break. Good morning.
Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we were discussing dreams and how to achieve them. And, we've all discussed the types of dreams we've had as children, but also how they've actually turned into a reality. But it's not the whole glamour and the, the lights and the showbiz aspect of it all. There's a lot of hardship. And Shahzad's point about having people to look up to. We're just talking about Nelson Mandela, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to use this example. And the fact that people see the end result and, they don't realize the pain and the struggle he went to become that person.
Exactly.
So, Shahzad, will let you ask the question.
Yeah, so what I wanted to ask over here is that quite a lot of times, when we're in the family, and I thought of this question when Anam was saying that, we have cousins who are from medical background, engineering and whatnot. So quite a lot of times in our life, we do feel inspired by other people or by their lifestyles. And to some extent, we want to share the same lifestyle or the life or that easy life, which we want to say. But I don't think that it's a practical way of thinking, because somebody went through a different course and your course will be different because the time is not the same. So how do we tell people not to do that?
See,
Or should we tell them not to do that?
well, you should always cherish your own positive thinking. Like you want to become a doctor or beautician or a physical practitioner. So always think in a positive way and cherish your dreams rather than copying someone or following someone else's lifestyle. So for me, it is always, well, if I want to do something, I'll do it. I don't copy or I don't really go after others.
Okay.
My own wish and will is very important to me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And what's your take on this one?
I think we should not idealize some personality like Nelson Mandela or something like that. We have inspiration with like I have inspiration, I have association with uniform.
Yeah.
So I went to the National Defense University to study. So don't attach your dreams with some kind of figure. It should be something else.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think that's debatable. Harun?
Interesting.
I basically believe that dreams are an inspiration of a picture that you paint yourself into. So if you try and fit yourself into another picture, you'd never be able to achieve it.
Okay.
So it has to be something that drives your will, your emotions, and your mind.
But you can take some certain ideas from that particular
Exactly.
human being or whoever you follow or your mentor.
Of course. But you cannot fit into a picture painted by someone else. You have to paint your own picture and fit yourself into
But
it.
people do get lucky, and this
Yes,
is what people
yes,
want.
yes, of
People want shortcuts in their life.
Okay, but is that what we're doing? Are we pushing people to fit other pictures?
Yes, that's what I was thinking when we were talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that it's Pakistan. In Pakistan, it's very, very difficult to have your own dreams. It's not. I don't say it's impossible, but it's very difficult because we live in a culture where there's a lot of emphasis on parents' respect or
Right.
giving in to their views and their wishes, especially. So I think people who are listening to me or listening to you right now, some of them must be thinking that, oh, how do I do that? How do I dream individually or differently from my family?
This is what I'm thinking. We're all very privileged. Yes.
I was just going to say, if you break your dream down into a strategy, it can be a dream that, let's say you just spoke about Nelson Mandela, what he's been through, obviously became the leader of the country. So, I mean, everyone needs to realize that goal has to be broken down. And you have to achieve those goals.
Okay, and that was just an example. I don't know why we keep using Nelson Mandela. We have, we have Qaid Azam in that. We have Allama Iqbal. Like, so
Malcolm
that's
X, yes.
exactly. But on that note, we're going to share a trailer with you in line with our conversation. Let's go take a look, and when you come back, we're going to break down what Harun said and how do we achieve it? How do we break down the step-by-step 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan?
And then at the same time, we have to talk about the fear of losing. Now, what happens is that people do not want to lose. For example, I opened up an office, it's just an example. And then I'm not going to shut it down even if I'm facing or having losses because of the fact that I'm thinking, oh, what will people say that I've failed? Failure, I think, is the best way to dream.
And best way to learn. So let's go take a look at this clip, and when you come back, we will continue our conversation.
I'm enjoying.
Good.
Did you wash your hands? With soap? Did you dry them?
What? Is this all vegetables? Who wanted all vegetables?
I did. So, are we going to talk about it?
What?
The elephant in the room.
What elephant?
Mom's new job.
It's time to make some wrong things right. Help
Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need to change people's perceptions about superheroes, and Elastigirl is our best play.
Better than me?
Whoa! I like Mom's new job. Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it
I
this
don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math. Hello?
Hey, honey. How are the kids?
Everything's great.
Is she having adolescence?
And Jack?
He's in excellent health.
Whoa! What the?
Num num cooking.
Oh my God!
Cooking.
Wow! Gay. That is freaky.
You know it's crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
The screen slayer.
Yeah, so that was a little trailer for all those people who are out there, and I think these animated films are not just for kids, even we can go and watch them.
Absolutely, but that shows that everyone's got in the family business in that as well. So now coming back to the conversation, Haroon moves us on to the next point of topic, which is about breaking down your dreams. And Thyra, you were making a very good point that over here, we have different cultural norms. Our society works in a different way where your elders are obviously wiser and they have a lot of wisdom, but it's translated into that every aspect of life almost is controlled or dictated by that opinion. And don't mean that in a bad way, I'm going to get into so much trouble. So how do we try to kind of balance the two, like Anam Fatima did herself, kind of incorporating their dreams into hers, but not letting her dreams die on the side?
I think the same thing that I also mentioned about myself. I think keep believing in the dreams, because when I see clients, they come to us because they have stopped believing in their dreams.
Okay.
They have let go of the dreams few years back, and now they are facing depression, anxiety, a lot of stress because of that, because at the back of their mind, they're still regretting letting go of their dreams, because
Right.
the possibilities may come up anytime. So I think not letting go of your dream, in my view, is the key.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you think fear of losing actually has an impact on anybody who was dreaming earlier and then they've stopped because of the fact that they think that, I might lose? And what will people say if I lose?
I think the fear of losing is, I think, at the root of every failure. We don't want to lose our dignity in front of people, maybe, so we keep on going on in a bad relationship. We don't want to lose our parents' name, so we keep on being a doctor, even though we hate the sight of the patients, maybe. So yeah, the fear of losing is at the root cause. It's the root cause of everything.
Okay, so Haroon, this plan that you talked about, setting up the step-by-step goals. So what would you say to all the viewers today? How would you start to break down your dreams to become an achievable objective?
First of all, I'd like to relate dreams to success, right? Unfortunately, not everyone can dream and achieve success. There has to be a stepwise approach towards converting dreams into success. Step one is you need to make sure that the dream that you dreamt is actually what you want, right?
Yeah.
Then you need to consider the fact that what are the factors that influence those dreams. So, let's say we live in a society, and there are a lot of factors in different societies.
Yeah.
Then you need to know if you've locked your dream down and you start moving towards it. First of all, you need to monitor what you've done, and if whatever you've done has given you the motivation to drive further, that means that you're going on the right path, and it will proceed further. But if you fail, sometimes people fail on the first step. That is a problem where a person needs to identify and needs to think that failure is always a key to success. Failure will motivate you further. Next time there won't be failures. Then the most important thing I personally believe in is the satisfaction that you get by giving to others. Whatever your dream is, if you can add a giving to others portion to it, trust me, it will give you the added satisfaction.
Okay, all of this is great, and especially for men over here in Pakistan, it's pretty much achievable too as well. But on the other hand, what I wanted to talk about is how do we dream freely, because over here our society shapes our dreams. For example, if somebody wants to be a cross-dresser within Pakistan, do you think that they can do that? No, they cannot do that. So now just to achieve that, he or she shouldn't actually be flying out from the country. So now where do we come to a point where, you know, we are dreaming freely, we're not talking about societal impacts or people talking or, you know, people saying something. So we do not have to shape our dreams according to other people. We could do it freely. How do we do that?
If you know, the thing that I said, once you dream, you need to realize the factors that influence that dream. So, you know, you need to set a pathway. Let's say, जो आपने example दी, if you talk about that particularly, you'd have to think that you won't be in Pakistan. So that in order to achieve that dream, you'd have to go abroad or, you know, take certain measures. That is what my take is.
Okay, so that's the thing that brings the realistic aspect into it. You know, how real are our dreams? And you know, the comment that I made that is, you know, how we're influenced by it's not actually that. It's also up to us as adults as well to kind of find that balance. Like Anam Fatima did. You know, she tried something, it didn't work. Her parents then supported her in trying to achieve her own dreams. So let me ask Tyra, is that, you know, the psychological aspect of it all, like the keeping it realistic. How do we keep it realistic in a world where, you know, drama and fantasy and luxury is being shoved down our throats? You know, like people don't want to, everyone wants to take the easy route out now. So how do we make our dreams giving back, beneficial for us and beneficial for the society we live in? See, I think that's a double question in there. Or triple question.
The last part, can you please?
You know, what did I say?
Well, you said that you give back to,
So how do we make sure our dreams are realistic? Because everything is about luxury and things.
Something
and dreaming freely. I think I haven't got the answer to that too.
And I don't have a good answer. Actually, I have a very depressing and negative answer.
Go ahead.
No.
Say what you want to say.
Because of the exact example you gave, and I also keep thinking, because of my human rights background, I do come across these questions and these concerns, and it's yes, you might have to let go of the dream of, you know,
being a cross-dresser.
Yes, because when she talked about the realistic dreams, I think at a point of time, with the help of maybe your elders and other people or your mentors, you have to realize that there are some dreams that will not be met in this society. There is the religion and our societal norms.
That's heartbreaking.
No, but then how do we make peace with that? Like, because then you're going to end up with, you know, a lot of unhappy, repressed, frustrated people.
We come in here, you know, our profession again, because then you can talk to somebody and you can find other ways of expressing yourselves. As I said, that I wanted to be on TV, and I think standing in front of a class of 40 or 50 people and talking about your things, I think it gave me an alternative to being on TV and talking about it.
This is probably a class of 7 billion people out there. But other than that, you know, I'm sorry that I'm bringing this up, but even for men, it gets difficult at times to, you know, achieve their dreams. For example, if a married man wants to get married again, you know, if he dreams of getting married again, you know, it gets difficult for him to achieve that too as well.
Rightly so.
On a lighter note. Go ahead.
Thank you, Shahzad. I would like to add here, as you just mentioned getting married again and married. I'm working for a company called Shadi.pk. Okay, it's the first matrimonial service, online matrimonial service in Pakistan, which is registered by Security Exchange Commission.
Okay,
wow.
Anyway.
Yes. So, you know, this was also a dream of my boss, Lukman Kamil, when he thought of it, and people said, no, online won't work here, because in Pakistan it's very traditional, and, you know, parents, they decide that. And today, if we look at our, you know, company, we have 95% females working in Shadi.pk, and that's, you know, that's the dream which came true.
That's wonderful.
He thought of very small thing, and now, you know, we have flourished and big established company. So you have to always think positive, keep on working that. There are a lot of rocky ways, there are a lot of hardships, but if you give away and listen to the naysayers or negative comments, then
so I think it's a dream fulfilled for all those people who want to get married again. You know, this is what you need to do. Go into the website and they'll keep it a secret, don't worry.
Yes, your
because if it, God forbid, if it gets hacked, too many people are going down the drain. I'm sorry for that.
Well, that's okay.
Well, privacy is always our motive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Yes, Ira?
You are being watched by a lot of women right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't care.
So you should come up with another dream for a man.
Yeah, all right, let me think of it.
Yes.
Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, no, please don't make him dream anything else. So now, I was talking about the realistic aspect of it, and that's what I was. That was my other point, and apart from the realistic, that we. In this day and age, we are, bombarded with luxury and the easy life and money, and this is what's going to make you happy. If you have $1 million, then you're going to be happy. If you have a big house, so our dreams are kind of getting a bit usurped by all our external influences. Fatma, for you, how do you feel like with this kind of pressure to success? There is, people have they know what success is: money, big car, going abroad. Is that what you equate dreams and success with?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe in that.
So how do we now take the kids in that line? Because that's where they're going, right? Everyone wants to be on TV. Everyone wants to be.
I think it's important to know where you want to be, than getting worried about how it would go.
But how would you say to parents to help their kids realize, that that to do something more with their lives?
Just don't tell them anything. They'll decide by themselves.
Let them decide. Exactly. Let them.
Let them
That's
be
my
free.
point, guys. You're
Yeah.
missing my point that you're being influenced negatively by social media.
Right.
So how do you keep them on track, Tahira?
I think parents can model the behavior. I think the strongest influence, no matter what we say, on a child is of the parent. So if the parent is working for a car or for a new house throughout his life, and the newer house is another house, I don't think the child will follow another dream. Or it's very unlikely. So parents can model that behavior where they follow their dreams. So maybe the child.
There are, let's say you talked about being a pilot, right? So I'm just going to relate that to my theory. There are two kinds of people, right? There is one is a passenger and the other one's a pilot, right?
Yeah.
So being the passenger in life is the easiest bit. You sit back, relax, and enjoy life, right? But the pilot is the guy who takes you where he wants himself to go. So it is between picking those options. Either you pick a destination and you go there. That is up to the pilot. The passenger will always be the one sitting back and relax.
Amazing.
I really like that analogy. It's very good.
But towards the
so
end,
true.
towards the end, I'm going to indulge in a very cultural thing, and that is that over here we still do believe in not sharing our dreams with anybody else and keeping it as a secret.
Yes.
How important it is to achieve, because then it gets jinxed if we tell somebody.
Oh yeah,
we just cannot get it then.
Yeah, exactly. Any happiness, any dream you have, no, it doesn't.
Well,
okay.
please
We'll
go
move our
ahead.
way down. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes, it's always a negative thinking or naysays. So, it's a social responsibility as well. Like we think positively very less and rare. We don't dream big. And first, if someone wants to plan anything or dream of something, like let's take a child. So, there's a lot of negativity from parents, from elders, from American, nahi hoga. It's not possible.
Yeah.
No, stop that. Everything is possible.
Okay.
So that energy,
Yes, the
whatever
energy law
you
of attraction attracts.
Okay.
The universal power gives you what you think of.
So you're saying that we should always keep it a secret?
Thoughts.
We should always keep it a secret?
Well, no. You need to avoid the people, naysayers and negative,
Get your question.
So what was your question?
So my question over here is that, quite a lot of times within our families, we are being told that, if you're going to, probably after a year, you're going to buy a new car, don't tell anybody till the moment the car is here.
And even when you get it, don't tell them it's
So
not sharing your dreams because they get jinxed.
I don't believe in this.
Okay.
They don't get jinxed.
Very nice.
I personally believe there are certain factors, that influence people not to follow their dreams. And number one is basically the naysayers around them.
Yeah.
There is another thing. People fear a lot, as we previously talked about, failure.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is failure is always key to success.
Yes.
And the most important thing is you have to be self-confident. You have to be confident in order to achieve any particular dream, what you've wanted in life.
Okay.
These are three factors that I believe have.
Amazing. Tyra.
I believe that sharing your dream is very important, and I think programs like these.
With the right people, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People
the
who help
definition.
you build your dreams.
Yes.
Or maybe people who are waiting to be inspired by someone
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
you. So I think sharing, especially in our society, as we were saying, it's very
But for one
important.
of those cousins, you know, who really do not want you to succeed,
Shazad.
I'm not sharing my dream with
I want
him
to
or
add
her.
something.
Yes.
In this age of social media, how can you keep secret your dream? People are eating and they're putting on
I
Facebook.
don't even tell people where I'm going.
I would like to add here, sorry to
Sorry,
cut you
Very
off.
quickly.
Very quickly, we've run out of time.
Yes, let the success make the noise. So
Yeah.
rather than spreading it
Yeah.
before doing anything, I
That's a
don't
good
think
point
so.
too.
It makes any sense.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And I also want to say that the person who is achieving all the success, they're never the passenger. They're constantly working hard, and they're the ones that are earning the big bucks so that the family can be passengers. So on that note, if you would like to have any more information on what we've discussed, log on to our Facebook fan page.
And before we do that, I still have a message to give
Oh,
away.
sorry.
And that message,
Very
ladies and
quickly.
gentlemen, over here is that for all those people who've achieved their dreams, you'll see and you will witness, since the time they've started to achieve, they're just becoming more modest, more humble, and they're quiet people. They do not share the formula of success. It's all hard work, and they just keep quiet.
Yeah.
So please be on your line and keep on doing that.
Yeah, there's no secret to it. It's just hard work. So with that, log on to our Facebook fan
Which
page,
is with the name of All This
our
Morning.
Twitter page,
All This Morning without a G.
our Daily Vision YouTube
All
page,
This Morning, All This Morning.
and the repeat of that.
5 past 11 p.m.
Have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3, good
Good
morning.
morning.